traders at Access Bank expect buy interest in me-dated bonds to persist given the attractive yield. Meanwhile, they anticipate continued demand for T-bills and a likely OMO auction due to the robust system liquidity. Odinaka Linus-Nwokonkwo, Treasury Team Member at Access Bank, joins me now for more market movements. Odinaka, thanks for joining us on the show today. Let's get right into it. Today, the likelihood of having an OMO auction, system liquidity, let's start with that.
Yes, today, just this morning, we saw the CBN announce an OMO auction. Offer was about 150 billion, and the result is yet to be out. This is on the backdrop of the liquidity we've seen, about 591 billion, which is the liquidity system as of yesterday. I remember starting from beginning of the week, it was about 900 billion, so about 280 billion was taken out from the NTB and 290 billion from the bond auction. So what we have is now currently about 591 billion, which is why I think the CBN floated the OMO auction today.
Sure. Now, let's also unpack some numbers for those who missed some of the updates from this week. We had the 450 billion naira bond auction, and then we had the 228 billion naira T-bills auction as well this week. Let's talk about subscription rates and how investors are leaning and preparing for next week.
The subscription for the NTB was quite high, about 770 billion. I remember that the offer was about 220. They sold about 280. So that's almost about 3.5 times 3.5 in terms of subscription level. And like I said, that is due to the backdrop of the liquidity that we've seen, which was at a high of about 900 billion on Monday. So for the bond auction, we saw a bit of a weak appetite. Offer was 450. They sold just about 297. Subscription was about 300 billion. So this is also due to the kind of interest rate environment we're seeing. So where counterparties are willing to trade on the shorter end as opposed to the long end of the curve.
Yeah. And Odinaka, I wouldn't let you go with whether or not you're also optimistic about the CBN governor's statement that the worst of the naira volatility is over. From the viewpoint of the team at Access Bank, what's your take on the trading pattern of the naira? We see that still at about 1,500 this week, largely for the month of June. We saw that around 1,470, 1,480 naira. Where lies the fate going forward into the new month?
Yeah, so like the CBN governor said, the worst of it is over. And his statement is coming from what we've seen in the past week. Remember that we saw this at a high of 180, it trended down to about 1,001. And now we are back to 1,415, which is where it has been at least for the past 1 month. And the CBN's resolve to maintain this rate at this level, which is why you are seeing those OMO auctions being floated once there's liquidity in the system, and also continue to maintain the rates at those high levels to continue to attract those FPIs who are coming into the system to take advantage of this yield. Remember, I think going into the quarter, you will start seeing more CBN-driven policies, especially as inflation probably kinds of weighing down, maybe by the end of last quarter. At the end of the month in the last quarter, you might see a bit of a retracement in those yields. However, this is not as sacrosanct as all is dependent on what is happening in the macroeconomic space.
Thanks a lot for the updates there, Odinaka Linus-Nwokonkwo. That's Odinaka from the Treasury team at Access Bank.